Okay, I am here with Ryan Osten, CEO of Gubagoo. Ryan, thanks for giving us a few minutes again.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Paul. Always love talking to you, so I appreciate it.
So we've spent now a day and a half on the open trade show floor at NADA 2023 show, and Alex Vetter just said it feels a lot more like a software convention than an automotive convention. Mm-hmm. Do you feel the same way?
Absolutely. I think that as time has gone, years after years, and we're trying to work on these big problems of how to build the best experiences in automotive, a lot of the companies have been evolving into what you call more of software feel, which is taking the best outside of automotive and actually bringing that into automotive, yes. Right? So those e-commerce experiences that customers are having when they're buying clothes online or where they're banking online and those sorts of things, and bringing that into the automotive world, because the consumer expects to have those experiences here, whether it's they're buying an iPhone or they're buying something on it, right. Whatever it is, right?
They expect it everywhere.
Exactly.
What are some, I'm going to ask you, we're going to come back into automotive, but first, personally speaking, when you think about great e-com experiences, what are some of the e-com experiences that you like to use or that you know of that you enjoy using? What are some of the top ones?
Oh man, well I use, one example is, anything on Shopify. First of all, Shopify, great Canadian company, but I think about the Shop app and the one-click checkout. This is a perfect experience to me, right? But they have scale, right? So many e-commerce stores are using Shopify, right? And so when I go to that checkout, one click, I put in my email address, I get a code to my phone, right? Which is two-factor authentication. And then I put that in and I'm done. I don't have to put my credit card in. And so if I see a site that's not using Shopify and I need to put in my credit card in, I'm disappointed.
Right, all of a sudden you're like, is this really worth it?
Exactly.
We've gotten to that point.
Yeah.
And especially if you can't scan your credit card and you go I have to.
It happens. Any point of friction can lead to a drop in conversion, abandoned cart. Any point of friction, because I might not need that thing, and now I'm thinking about whether I actually need it.
Already the remorse sets in before you even hit the buy button.
Yeah.
So where's the low-hanging fruit right now in automotive to start to streamline the process? Obviously, there are a lot of pieces that need to be put together, right? And we're certainly further along than we were 5 years ago. Think about that, even 1 year ago. Where do you see are the next few doors to kick in?
Sure.
When it comes to the process?
Yeah, absolutely. So firstly, I'd say a lot of the low-hanging fruit's been picked. Okay, we've been picking that over the last few. That's right. Now we need to do the hard work, the big problems. So I'd classify it almost in phase 1 and phase 2. I think when I look at digital retailing, which I think has transformed the consumer experience, right? Being able to get a transparent payment online and do your trade and do F&I and all that stuff. Phase 1 was really about getting those in place and getting that lead in, right? It's a better experience.
And the pandemic, right, sped that up.
Yeah.
So all the low fruit is gone.
Exactly. Now phase 2 is about getting to that full transaction, right? And that's where the heavy lifting is coming, and that's why I think really only a few companies in the space are able to tackle that with the weight and the ecosystem that they have, us being one with Reynolds, because there's a few problems that need to be solved that we've solved for. First is having your own calc engine, right? A lot of tools out there, they don't have their own calculation engine with rebates and incentives and what have you. So what happens is the customer gets a payment online, and when they come into the store or try to complete that deal, the calc engine in the CRM or the DMS is different, right? So then the dealer's having to roll back into the payment somehow, and trust is eroding. Exactly, right?
It's taking time, and you're like, wait, you told me one thing, you're entering it again, what's going on with the process? So to stick with the tree and the fruit and the height metaphor, right? If you're gonna get the high fruit, you need a ladder, right? What's the ladder? How do we get to the high fruit? What do we need to have in line in order to get to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the ladder is scale. The ladder is, I always say, when you're solving really difficult problems, right? It doesn't matter what industry it is, you need control over many elements of the process. And I'll bring it back to the Shopify analogy, right? Why is Shopify able to build such great experience? Because they have the marketing, they have the website, they have the checkout payments, they have shipping, they have all of that, right?
And call those the rungs on the ladder. I like it. We're building a metaphor in real time, right?
So they're able to connect all these pieces, and that's what it takes to deliver those amazing experiences. The second big pillar I think that needs to be tackled is e-contracting, right? So when a customer is building their deal online, in order to complete the deal, they need to be able to contract, right? And so you need those integrations with all those lenders. You need the whole process for e-contracting, which has vaulting and all this sorts of, crazy technical
safety,
stuff,
security issues.
Exactly, right? And so in order to do that, we need to tackle e-contracting. We've figured that out, and it's going to continue to evolve. But those are the two big pieces I think that are the next frontiers that need to be tackled.
Well, one thing I like about the work that you're doing is we're just going to end on the metaphor. We're going to wrap the metaphor
up. Love
it.
it.
Once someone realizes you can put a ladder up and get to the top of that fruit, you start to see more ladders go up. Right?
That's right.
And so I like the fact that you're thinking of how do we lead the way? How do we show everyone what is possible by providing that experience? We use Shopify as the target goal. Right? So Ryan, thank you so much for the work you're doing and spending a few minutes with me here today.
It's my pleasure, Paul. Thanks. Have a great show.
You too.